Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we're taking a look at from the Masters of the Universe Origins line. This is Battle Armor Skeletor. Very cool to have this figure, as you know, Battle Armor Skeletor was really my second Skeletor and the only Battle Armor figure that I had. I got this figure off of Amazon, and a little more on that later. But it should be available at retail locations everywhere, both brick and mortar and online. And, we'll see just how well it goes. Um, as you can see, we're starting, have it here in figure mode. And, of course, the battle armor gimmick, for those of you not familiar, is comes back, during a time in the 80s where Mattel was doing like this spring-loaded damage thing. If you had like Hot Wheels cars, there were ones that were like if you hit the side or the front, they would flip and have like a dent, or they can do like 3 dents. Well, this is sort of like that, where if you just press on the chest, you can see that it'll just spring around and Skeletor will get his battle armor. The same thing with He-Man if you have the He-Man figure. So, and then if you want to just bring it back, you just rotate it back, and there's like a little bit of a hold there. So just go all the way, and it'll soft click into place. But I noticed that you really got to hit it to get it to really go. But, enough for the beginnings and intros. We'll pause, and then we'll come back and take a look at Skeletor and everything the figure comes with. Okay, with Battle Armor Skeletor being a deluxe figure, they went ahead and gave the figure some extra accessories. So, besides the Havoc Staff, it does come with the half power sword. This is, I believe, the female end, which means you cannot take the power sword from regular Skeletor and combine it. This will only work with the male end that comes with He-Man. So, if you do what I did, with the regular He-Man and Skeletor, gave that to He-Man, and then with the battle armor, you can give that to Skeletor. It is part of that play pattern. I mean, remember, with the Origins figures, they are they're trying to stay true to the classic play patterns of the toys, not what we saw in the cartoon or in other media. And that play pattern was the power sword being split and having to come together to open Castle Grayskull, yada yada yada. Besides that, we get a pretty nice looking battle shield. Fits on the arm so quite well. And then what's really cool is they give you an alternate head. That, frankly, this is how I'll be displaying this figure with this head. A little bit of a smirk instead of the angry old man face. And you do have an alternate hand, so Skeletor can dual wield the sword and the Havoc Staff. Just to go in and... ooh, boy. A little tight joint there, but that's good. Holds the head on. You just swap it out and... don't be bashful. Get it. Pop it in there. And then, let's go ahead and reset the battle damage. I remember that over time, when I was a kid, that spring would wear out. But there you can see the head. Nice little smirking face. The sword can store in the back here, little sheath. But unfortunately, actually, look at that. It's holding. I think the combined sword would hold a little bit better. But hey, it's holding now. Now, I've been using the shield with the open hand here, but of course, for the sake of demonstration, let's swap out the hands and just clip the shield on, just like so. I guess part of it because of the molding on Skeletor's forearm shield doesn't sit as well as I would like, but it holds into place. So there you go. You have Skeletor all armored up. Of course, the figure still features the same amount of articulation as any other versions of Skeletor that have been put out. In terms of disassembly, I think the looking at the what the little card comes with, the arms aren't removable. That might be because of the difference of the chest, since that chest does have a spring in it. But who knows? So yeah, I mean, kind of fun figure, really great to have, and we'll pause and I'll be back with my final thoughts. One thing I should mention is that with Skeletor, I do notice that the knees are a little loose, and that kind of makes it hard for the figure to stand straight up. So you will find it looking to do its like classic bent knee pose. But I mean, you can stand, and as you can see here, get into a couple different poses. Now, as I said in the beginning, I got this figure off of Amazon, and I have to admit there were some issues. I did get Clamp Champ off of Amazon, and actually by getting Clamp Champ is how I was able to get Skeletor, because they ultimately had to Amazon had to give me a refund on Clamp Champ, because both times that they shipped the figure to me, the card was horribly damaged, and the worst part is the bubble was actually separating off from the back of the card, so that the accessories were rolling around loose in the packaging. I think in one case, the second Clamp Champ, the replacement hand, was actually loose in the shipping box. So got the refund, and I saw Skeletor was available, and I went ahead and grabbed that. And while this version of Skeletor, the card is not nearly as chewed up as, say, Clamp Champ, I was having the same problem where the bottom of the card was separating. The bottom of the bubble was separating from the card, and actually caused the comic book to fall out, which leads me to believe that if you're ordering the deluxe figures off of Amazon, maybe how they're storing them or what have you is causing a great deal of issues with temperature and stuff like that. The temperature is causing the glue to dry out or something. Just be aware of what you'll be getting. Right now, as far as I know, Skeletor is not in stock on Amazon. He-Man is not in stock. He was. I ordered it, but then I had to cancel the order, pay for something else, yada yada. Ram Man is, but because of their pricing algorithm, they have Ram Man going for over $25, which is insane, since these deluxe figures are no more than $20 at best. Tip my hat to Mattel to keeping the pricing of the Origins figures reasonable. But as I said, you should be able to find the deluxe figures in brick and mortar retail, where I think you'll have less of an issue getting them and things of that nature. But overall, I really do like Battle Armor Skeletor. It's really a bit of nostalgia for me that, this was one of my favorite Skeletors. And for a lot of people, this was their first Skeletor. One of the problems Mattel had back in the day with the He-Man line and the Masters of the Universe line is that Filmation, to save animation costs, never used any of the newer versions of He-Man and Skeletor, like Battle Armor, Power Punch, Whirlwind, the Claw Strike, Snake Spit, whatever. And so kids would go to the store looking for He-Man and Skeletor as they saw in the cartoon. And by the time the cartoon came around, those versions of He-Man and Skeletor were really no longer on the shelf. And that's actually why, if you go today, you see so many of the first version of He-Man and Skeletor, because they want to make sure they're all on the shelf with Battle Cat and Panther, so that new kids coming in are able to get the versions of He-Man and Skeletor that they know. So yeah, that's just a little bit of an aside and some rambling. But yeah, that's about it for the review. Give Battle Armor Skeletor 2 thumbs up. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I do appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions help communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel is one that should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, please consider joining my Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. Hyperlink in the description below. Little card link here in the corner. All I ask for is $1 a month or $12 a year. No thrills, no tiers, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help me to help you bring figures like Battle Armor Skeletor to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. If you didn't notice, I'm trying out a new light box made by the company Foldio, and I got a smaller one to work with these smaller figures, and we're giving it a shot. So that's something that wouldn't have been possible without you guys watching my videos and supporting on Patreon. But as I always say, if you can't do the $1 a month or $12 a year, your views are more than enough support. And really, the Patreon is like a cherry on top of an already generous sundae. You guys are great. You've been with me for a while, and I really do appreciate it. So that's about all for Battle Armor Skeletor. This is your old pal Chuck, and we will see you next time.